Hey guys, it's Brownie here from PC Gamer, and today I'm going to be reviewing Mental. Now, Mental is a shooter game that combines movement mechanics with intense close quarters combat. Wall run, shoot, slice and fight your way through merciless cartoon enemies in an effort to survive the onslaught. I'm going to be splitting this review into 4 categories: gameplay, visuals, audio, and then comfort. Normally I would cover the story elements of the game as well, but in this game it's basically non-existent, so after covering all 4 I will come to a conclusion on whether I think you should buy this game or not. Right, so let's start off with the gameplay here. I think the title out of the game actually summarises it all pretty well. As you would expect from the title, the game is fast, frantic, unpredictable, and especially during the first hour, I got pretty lost in the effects and the ragdolls, and it almost came across a bit messy, but eventually it grows on you and it works. Mental doesn't have a traditional single-player campaign mode. Instead it just has a variety of survival modes across a small handful of maps. The game starts you off in a practice range of sorts with a tutorial behind you. It gives you an opportunity to play with all of the weapons and the items in the game, get used to how you need to reload the weapons and use drugs. And this game adopts a bit of a semi-realistic reload system with, needing to remove insert magazines and charge the guns. But this is where my first problem comes with the game. The hitboxes for the weapons and interacting with them aren't perfect. In my opinion, a lot of them are too small, and as you might see in the gameplay here, I'm fumbling around with them a lot, and in the middle of a gunfight where there's lots of enemies rushing you with melee, it just gets a bit annoying. So out of the 3 game modes that there are in the game, my favourite was Survival, which took a lot from Call of Duty Zombies. It requires the player to purchase weapons from walls, open doors, and survive endless hordes of enemies for basically as long as you can, and it is pretty good fun. And this is where the game is at its peak. You start off fending enemies who are equipped with weaker melee weapons. Then melee weapons get stronger, and then before you realise it, they're bringing guns out. But obviously, to compensate for the enemies getting better, you can obviously buy better gear. But you've also got tools that the enemies don't utilise as well as you. The first of which is the parkour of the game, which has a skill curve as you'd probably expect. And like many other things in this game, it is so close to working. Like, it is not miles at all. It's really well done. It's just a small few things that stop it from working, and it almost works. It only doesn't work because of the artificial turn, and it gets very stuttery when you get mid-air, and it becomes hard to use. You're stopping, it stops, it doesn't do it at the right speed, which it's not too much of us to a problem with room scale setups because you can just turn your body. But keep in mind, if you do have a smaller player space, this could become a hindrance to your enjoyment of the game. But the parkour is fun. You can wall run, wall jump off things, and for the most part you can actually get quite a lot done. You can also use an array of drugs which the enemies don't get, which give you temporary status boosts. Weed, I believe, slows down time a lot more, so you've got more time to think of things, take aim while jumping mid-air, and keeping on the move is really rewarded here. Enemies won't hit you as much, and it's pretty good. Although, my largest probably complaint with the game would probably be the inventory system. You press the right thumbstick on your controller to pull up a menu of all your inventory in front of you. And especially when you're carrying multiple weapons, it feels unnatural to open this menu, and because you reach into this menu to grab weapons. Normally, nowadays in VR, you often grab the weapons off your back or off holsters on your body. Not the case here. You have to press the button and grab it from in front of you, and it just enlarges. It's the same. It makes sense with the drugs because there are about 7 of them, so it makes sense for that, but not for the weapons. I believe they should be on body holsters because I keep reaching behind my back and then bringing out, and I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't got a gun in my hands, and I get shot or stabbed. It's just sort of it. But despite a few issues with the gameplay, it is fun, unique, and it has a high quality feel to it, and I can't wait to see what the developers put into it. The physics here are really good. They're on a high level. Everything collides and interacts as you'd sort of expect. There are a few issues with it, but the core gameplay works, and it's a surprisingly exciting loop with a really fun learning curve that will keep you in it for hours. Even 5-6 hours in, I'm learning new things, and that's what keeps me coming back to it. Right, so now we're going to take a look at visuals. Mental uses a cartoon-like style with bright, vibrant colours and bold special effects. And it never gets old to see the world kaboom echoing out of an explosion. It reinforces that the game just doesn't want to be taken too seriously. The maps are simple with bright and bold colours. it makes it easy to see what you can and can't climb. So in the middle of a gameplay, you can just you can climb on this bright yellow beam, so you can climb and jump on it, and there are some destructible elements to the map, which is quite nice. And the constant onomatopoeic words blaring from explosions, you know, make it all fresh, and the map feels very alive, despite being, for the most part, when there's no gunfights going on, they're fairly static, but very quickly there can be a lot going on, and it's chaotic fun. You know, it really is quite an achievement. As you'd expect with the simpler graphics, I was able to get a really good performance out of the game, and I don't recall ever experiencing any frame drops, and the loading times were fairly fast as well, so, you know, good performance on my machine, which isn't the best. So I was quite impressed with it. Right, now I'm going to move on to audio. So the sounds for the weapons are mostly really well done. You know, I don't notice a massive difference between certain weapons in like the same sort of categories, so like assault rifles. They all sound pretty samey, same as the SMGs. But when explosions go, they sound really punchy and they really draw your attention. And you know, especially with the big kaboom coming out of them, it really does sound and just feel awesome. And you know, whenever physics objects collide, they make the right sort of sounds that you'd expect, and guns all have different impact sounds. You can tell what you're shooting at, and yeah, the sound is, for the most part, really well done in this game. The soundtrack is slightly annoying though. It's sort of the same one song over and over and over again, which does get slightly on the annoying side, so I just turned it down for the most part and listened to my own music while playing, because you're not taking the game ultra seriously, you're sort of just laying back, enjoying it, so that's what I felt the game worked best, just listening to your own sort of music. And finally on to comfort. The game offers not many comfort options, you know, I think you get vignette during turning, and you've still got to use the fast smooth movement, and you don't get teleportation in here, which will definitely impact the accessibility for this one. And you know, the movement's very fast, intense. There's a few times where I was thrown from a physics glitch, and so if you're getting motion sick quite easily, I would probably stay away until you've got some VR legs for this one. So in conclusion, Mental offers a VR experience that truly reflects its title. You know, it's chaotic fun that has a lot of rough edges, but underneath lies a game with a hell of a lot of potential. The game is currently priced at about $25 or £20-ish, and for that price, unfortunately I just can't recommend the game as it is. While it is really fun and I do enjoy it, the asking price is quite steep for the amount of content that you're getting, and personally I would suggest waiting for the game to go on maybe a 33-50% sale. But you know, I'd give this game a good solid 6 out of 10. It's a great game, it's got lots of good qualities, but the execution is rough around the edges, and with the few maps available, it just doesn't justify the asking price in my opinion. So yeah, that is my review on Mental. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.